Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Liz. Thank you for stopping by. Doing another whip and chat today. I am back to working on Sunday Morning in Spring by Dreamer Designs, and it is a Nikki Bohem or Bohemy. I think it's Bohem. I keep saying that, but I'm pretty sure. A canvas, which is really beautiful. The only issue I have with this canvas, as you can see, and I'll bring it in a little bit closer, and I gotta do this a little bit here, is the gapping. It is very gappy. It's just one of those canvases that is gonna stay gappy. Let me see if I turn on the light, if you can even see it better, or actually probably worse, huh? It is what it is. It's still a beautiful canvas. I like working on it. I like the drills. I like the whole thing, you know. It's really nice. Actually, let me see if I bring it up a teeny bit higher. Let's see. Can you see? Okay, I'm going to be out of frame, so I'm going to have to do it like this. All right. I mean, you're not watching this anyway. You're listening mainly. So yeah, I'm working on this one. And today is Sunday, the 15th of December, 2024. As soon as I'm done with this whip and chat, I usually post the whip and chats the same day. It just depends how long it takes for YouTube. I keep thinking Facebook. It's YouTube to upload it. You know, sometimes it's quick and sometimes it's not, because we have an issue with our internet here. We're paying for the higher service, but our area has not been updated yet. We just recently found this out, so even though we're paying for the higher service, we're not getting the higher service, which is stupid. So I don't know. I don't understand how these companies can get away with it, but whatever. What are you gonna do? So it might take a little while longer than normal to upload it, depending on what's going on in the system. So yeah, so I'm working on this. I finished Cozy Christmas. I posted a video on that. What I did forget to do, and I'm going to make a video on it, won't be today, probably sometime this week, is to show you the difference between the fairy dust and the AB drills, and like what the difference in shine and all that is. I mean, the fairy dust are cute and they're pretty and they're a new novelty, but I really prefer the AB drills. The ABs just shine so much more. They're just really pretty. And I'll have to do a video on that. I'm still recovering from our party last night. We had our party, our Christmas party. And it was really nice. We had quite a few people here. I'm going to say around 45-ish. I haven't done the math on it yet. There was a few people couldn't come. Some people were sick, you know, or just feeling under the weather. I have a nephew who actually wound up in the hospital. He was born with a very bad congenital heart disease, and at some point he's going to need a heart transplant. But he doesn't take the best care of himself anyway, but that's a whole other story. But he wound up going into the hospital yesterday because he actually developed appendicitis. And because of his condition, he's had multiple surgeries. He has a pacemaker. I think he just turned 30 in October. He winds up, you know, he's had a lot of surgeries and stuff. But because his case is so complicated, they need to send him to Boston because that's where a lot of his doctors are, and they know his case, and you know, they have to be a lot more careful with him. So he's going to wind up having surgery. Right now he's on pain meds. As far as I know, his mom was just here a little while ago. She doesn't know a lot because he's not that great at communicating, but she is waiting. He finally did get a bed. She did tell me that. I forgot about that. He did finally get a bed, and he's on some pain meds, and they're not exactly sure when they're going to do surgery. I'm guessing probably tomorrow if he can hold off, because it's a Monday, because, you know, surgery on a Sunday is harder because not everybody's on there. You know, it's mostly emergency surgery if you could get, because if a normal person wouldn't be a problem, but because he's got this heart condition, it would be a lot more tricky for them, I think. I'm hoping he's going to be okay. I think he's going to be all right. The kid's a trooper. I mean, he's had surgery since he was literally a baby. He was also born, you know, with some intestinal issues, things like that. And so he's been through a lot. He's been through a lot, good kid too, I love him. And I'm hoping that he pulls through, and is okay and, recovers quickly. I've had appendicitis before. I've had that surgery. If they can do a laparoscopically, or however you say it, laparoscopic. Oh my God, I can't speak. I can't speak today. He'll be all right, I think, better than if they go in fully. Although every few years they have to go and change his pacemaker, so I don't know. I really do think he's going to be okay. It's just going to take some recovery, So yeah, so I'm still recovering from the party. Honestly, I really didn't drink. I had a little tiny bit of a sangria that my daughter makes. But that was it. It's not that. It's just, I couldn't sleep after the party. My sister and her husband and their daughter, one of their daughters, left around midnight because they were downstairs doing karaoke. My husband used to do DJing, so he's got a whole karaoke set up. And he's got pretty much every song. Other than the newer songs, he's got like all the 80s, 70s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s. He just probably doesn't have like the last 7 or 8 years. Which honestly, I don't know any of the new music anyway, so it doesn't matter to me. I don't really do a lot of karaoke. I used to do it more than I do now. But anyway, I was hosting, so I was up here, talking to people and, making sure everybody was okay and stuff. And then I was just, relaxing too because I was tired. Well, they left and we watched a little bit of TV because I was still kind of wound up. And then we went to bed and I could not fall asleep. I did not fall asleep till after 3 o'clock, 3 a.m. And then, of course, my sister's messaging me at 7:30, which is not a big deal. Usually I'm up, 5:30, 6 o'clock, but she actually woke me up, which, like I said, not a problem. Generally, I don't care. It's Sunday. I could have slept longer if I wanted to. But I decided to get out of bed because I had so much cleanup to do. You can tell a lot by how good a party is by the mess left behind. Everything was good. Nobody got trashed, but we had kids running around, anywhere from a 3-month-old, which he was, of course, not running around, to, 3 13-year-olds who were pretty much just being 13-year-olds and hanging out and, chit-chatting and stuff. 2 of the girls became friends because one of them is my son's girlfriend's daughter, and the other one is my groomer's stepdaughter who looks just like her, which is funny, but she's not her daughter. She's her stepdaughter, and the only reason I mention that is because they look so much alike, but they're not biologically related because she treats her like she is her daughter, but she's really her stepdaughter, and they wound up actually becoming friends, which was very cute. And it was really sweet to watch them kind of like decide they actually liked each other and wanted to hang out more, So we had like I said, kids running around. I mean, in my house, it's not a huge house by any stretch, but it's not super small either. I have a ranch, like a typical ranch, but we took down some walls, so I have a large open kitchen, and in the back I have a large family room or living room, and it was packed. And then some people were downstairs in my husband's office doing the karaoke and stuff, and they were having a good time doing that. There was plenty of food, actually too much food, desserts, the whole shebang. And it was very nice. It was really nice to see people because we don't see each other that often anymore. When my mother-in-law was alive, we used to go to her house if not every week, every other week on Sundays. We'd all congregate there. Sometimes we'd have something to eat. Sometimes it would just be snacks. The kids would play and stuff. So it was nice that the kids were able to grow up with each other and stuff. But she passed away in 2018, and since then, we only see each other at weddings, funerals, baptisms, and of course the Christmas party. So it was really good. It was nice. It was fun to see people. you know, and watch the kids have a good time. Nobody had any issues. Of course, Howie is going to be making noise. He was super quiet for a good 20 minutes because my husband just left. I do not know what he's barking at. I don't know. There's nothing out there. I mean, it's dark. Usually when it gets dark, he's quiet. But you know what? I'm going to go check on him. I'll be back in 2 seconds. Nothing going on. I don't know what his deal is. You know how doggies are. I yell at him to stop, and he did stop this time, you know. Like, go lay down. And he will. He'll go lay down. He loves his bed, you know, but I don't know what he heard. Maybe he's hearing me talk too. I don't know. I don't know. So, how is everyone's weekend? How's everyone's weekend? Is everyone all set for the holidays? You know, whatever holidays you're celebrating. I'm pretty much done, I think. I have to go through my stuff, look at what I have. I'm going to do that on Tuesday, because tomorrow I get my granddaughter. I couldn't do it today. I was just too tired because I only slept 3.5, at the most 4 hours. And I just couldn't think to even do that, you know. I mean, somebody asked me earlier how many people were at the party, and I'm like, I don't know. I have to do the math, but I haven't counted yet. I was trying to do it in my head, and because I'm so tired, I couldn't. I started counting on my fingers, and then I'm like, I don't know. I just can't. I can't. And my sister-in-law, she was here for a little bit. My son stopped by to pick up some food with the kids for a little bit, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm so tired. I can barely speak. But I'm speaking now, you know. I'm speaking now, but I am. I'm very tired. And I have my little monkey tomorrow. She was so funny. She was so cute. And her and I, tomorrow's kind of like my day off, because tomorrow I kind of just focus on her. So we just do, you know, I mean, she's only 19 months. She literally just turned 19 months. So, you know, she does her little toddler thing, and I keep an eye on her. And then we take a nap, because she doesn't, I have a pack and play, but I can't put her down because of my back if she falls asleep. And she doesn't really just fall asleep in it by herself, not yet anyway. So I just lay down in bed with her, and then she sleeps for a couple of hours. And I just sit there and scroll on my phone. Like, I will either scroll on Facebook, or I'll scroll through Team, or I'll check email messages. Sometimes we check your comments if I can. If I don't forget, because sometimes I do forget to look at that. Sounds like somebody's coming through with a loud car. Hope that doesn't set off my Howie. And so yeah, it gives me time to kind of just rest, believe it or not, on the day that I have her. You know, of course I can't get anything else really done if I have my mind set to doing something else. I just really can't. She's just too little. And my house is not 100% baby proofed, because she doesn't live here, you know. So I just really keep my eye on her to make sure that, you know, she's not getting into anything. Although she's really good. She hasn't even really gotten at the Christmas tree. She'll look at it, kind of just like hold an ornament in her hand. Let me see. Should I turn the light on? Would that be better? Yeah, maybe that's a little bit better. Sorry about that, guys. I mean, I can see just fine. She'll hold like an ornament in her hand. She'll look at it, but she's not like throwing things around or pulling them down or breaking anything. She hasn't even tried to get under the tree. Although my 13-year-old grandson and his almost 8-year-old stepsister were under the tree. I'm like, what are you two doing? I'm like, what? I mean, her I can understand. She's not even 8 years old yet, but he is 13, just turned 13, and I'm like, what the heck are you doing? Get out from under there. You know, don't knock the tree down, for God's sakes, you know. Jeez Louise, these kids. They did have fun, though. And we had a good time. So, they were already talking about next year. I'm like, oh my God. I still got to recover from this one, you know. And like I said, there was a lot of cleanup this morning. Of course, there was some dishes left behind. Some people left stuff behind. Excuse me. I had to, wash those and stuff. Not a huge deal. Most of my dishes were done anyway, but I still had to do that. And then, of course, I wanted to clean the floor because the baby being over tomorrow, I don't want her, on a filthy floor. And, people spilled a little here and there, especially with the kids. So I had to do that. But, of course, my husband did help me. He put stuff away. And then I did the majority of the cleanup and stuff, which is fine because he was outside logging wood from one area to another after. And he just took off down to one of my mom's apartments, building. She only has about one building. And he's trying to fix it because it needs to be rented, but this is something he has to fix. So he went to do that. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do a little bit of a whip and chat, check in on everybody, see how you're all doing, see how, the holidays are coming for all of you. Now, I know some people have a really hard time with the holidays, and I utterly understand. I was actually literally just thinking about it. I was like thinking about, we used to go to my mother-in-law's, we used to have like a big, when I first got married, what they did at my husband's family, Al's family, is we would start at one of the aunt's houses, it would be my mother-in-law or one of the other ones, and we'd go from house to house to house. Like, it sometimes would end at like 4 o'clock in the morning. I mean, and you would have a little bit of food here, a little bit of food here. Like, it was just like at every house. And honestly, I'm not going to lie, I hated that. Number one, I wasn't raised doing that. But I also hated being out that late because I've always been, even as a kid, I've always been early to bed, early to rise kind of person. And I hated doing that. And when the kids came along, they did that too. And it was so hard dragging a baby around and then dragging two babies around. A couple times they decided to do it at a hall. There's a church hall that my sister-in-law is very involved with. And we did it there, and that was fine too. But we used to do all that. We used to do the whole holiday thing. And I used to be like, oh my God, I hate this so much, I don't mind getting together with people. That part I didn't mind. It was just the length of it, how long it took, And then I was thinking earlier, I'm like, as hard as sometimes that was, I do miss those days. I miss everyone that has passed, because I saw a post on Facebook, and it's like, what do you miss most about Christmas back in the 80s, or the holidays back in the 80s, or 70s and 80s, whatever era. And so many people said the family, the gatherings, because everyone was still alive then. And that there is so much truth in that. As much as I love my life now, I love my children, my grandchildren. Of course, they weren't around then, but they weren't gone. They were to come. Where now so many of the family has gone. My grandmother, my husband's grandmother, his parents, my dad, aunts, uncles, cousins. So many people have passed away that it's just like, that's what I miss. I don't miss the presents. I couldn't care less. I miss the gatherings. I miss the people. And everybody, I think everybody for the most part feels that way, You miss those that have gone. And that's why the reason I'm saying that is because I know that a lot of people during the holidays, they really struggle with that, especially if somebody's newly passed away or newly divorced or newly whatever, whatever tragedy or hardship you're going through. I know the holidays are not good for everybody. And I've had my own, hard holidays. I do understand that. So my heart goes out to you because I do understand that. And I feel for anybody going through that because the holidays really are hard. Not everybody, number one, not everybody's had great holidays over the years. A lot of people have had, pretty lousy holidays, including myself, as children. But as you get older, you try to make the best holidays you can for yourself and for your kids and for your family. I always did. I always tried to make the best I could. We didn't We still don't. We didn't have a lot of money. We still don't have a lot of money. But I always try to make my kids' holidays and Christmases a lot of fun. Easter and stuff. Because that's all stuff I didn't have. Now, did I go out and buy everything they wanted? No. I don't agree with that, number one. And we didn't have the money. I couldn't do it anyway. And you know what? They survived. They were fine. You know, they didn't die because, you know, they couldn't get the latest whatever. My daughter, though, still holds it over my head. She wanted one of those like life-size Barbie dolls, or, you know, close to life-size when you're a kid. And they were like $70 back in the day, something like that. I think they're still about that price today. But back then, when you think about it, the amount of money that people had was a lot less. Even now, I mean, people have a lot less now because of the economy, but mainly because, you know, the wages were so much lower. And I literally just could never see myself spending that kind of money on something that was going to wind up probably broken, you know? So she never got it. And she still holds that over my head. She's like, I never got my Barbie. One of these days, I'm going to buy her that Barbie. I'm going to buy her that Barbie. Or actually, maybe I'll buy it for my granddaughter. I saw a meme that was so funny. It was like, parents back in the day, if kids wanted to go to McDonald's or whatever, no, you got food at home. And all of a sudden, when the grandkids come along, you got that McDonald's money. I think a lot of that is true because you're in a different position in life. You know, number one, you're not raising your kids. You're not raising your grandkids. You know, kids are expensive. Raising children is not for the faint-hearted, and it's not cheap either, you know. Everything you got to pay for between, you know, food and clothing and, God forbid, medical bills and all that stuff. It all has, you know, a lot of expense. So when you're a grandparent, you're a little freer, you know. Plus, you know what? You realize that time is short. Even if you have 50 years left, time is short, and you want to make the best memories you can. At least that's how I feel. I try to make the best memories I can, you know, with them when I do see them as much as I can. Because you never know. You never know. I mean, I don't want my grandkids to have bad memories of me like I have of my grandfather. You know, I have great memories of my grandmother. My grandmother was a saint, you know, on my mother's side. She was amazing. My grandfather on my father's side was an evil fuck, personally. You know, sorry, I don't mean to swear, but he was just not a nice person. And it's sad because, you know, but then again, he had a bunch of grandchildren, so I guess if you have a bunch, or some people, I don't know, they don't appreciate it as much. I don't know. I love all my grandkids. I appreciate them. I love being around them. I mean, I have 2 biological grandchildren, but I have, you know, my son's girlfriend's girls. They've been in the family for like 7 years, and I consider them my grandchildren to a degree. The only reason I really don't say my grandkids is they have their own set of grandparents, and you know, they're not married or anything, you know, not even engaged. It's a complicated situation, nothing bad, but there's just, you know, there's reasons why. And so I don't like to really step on anybody's toes, but I do. I mean, I consider them my grandkids, and when I buy presents for Christmas, I spend the same amount of money on all of them. I don't want any kid to feel left out. The only one that I did spend a little bit more money on this year is my my little granddaughter, because she's only had one other Christmas. You know, when she's just 6 months old or 7 months old at the time, it's not as fun. So this year I bought a few more things for her, but that's okay, because kids in our family, a whole bunch of people buy for the kids, so they'll have more than enough stuff, you know. And that's the only reason. It's because I found stuff, because, you know, little babies, little girls in particular, you find really cute things. The other ones are harder to buy for. A 13-year-old girl and a 13-year-old boy, they're a lot harder to buy for. I bought my granddaughter I got her a gift card, and of course a bunch of stocking stuffers, And my grandson, I haven't even figured out what to get him yet. I think he's going to wind up with cash or, like I said, a gift card just like her. Because he's so difficult. I keep asking him, what do you want, buddy? You know, let me know. Oh, I don't know, Vivo. I don't know. My God. Oh, kid, you're going to wind up with coal in your stocking. You keep that up. But then again, people say the same thing to me, and I'm like, I don't know. And the reason I say I don't know is because for me, it's easy. If I want something and I really want it bad enough and I have the opportunity, I go and get it. I don't wait for like a birthday or something. I do save birthday money, so I will save it for like, say there's like a big sale at Diamond Art Club or any other thing for that matter that I want to get. I'll use my birthday money, you know, and Christmas money, because my mom, that's what she does. She gives me birthday money and Christmas money, and I'm fine with that because, honestly, I'd rather buy my own stuff. I mean, I love getting gifts. I'm not going to say I don't. But, you know, my mom's style is so totally different from mine. And over the years, she has bought me some stuff, and I'm like, thanks, Mom. But, oof. And I would never have the heart to tell her I don't like something, you know? She's bought me some knickknacks over the years that I've put out, even though I was like, oh my God, these things are terrible. I just didn't want her to think that I didn't appreciate, you know, the time and effort that she spent, you know, getting me something, you know, so I would put stuff out because, you know what, life is short, and if you got a knickknack that's kind of weird or tacky, and if it's going to make your mom happy, your sister happy, your kids happy, put it out. Put it out. Eventually it'll probably get broken anyway, and you don't have to worry about it. So, it's just one of those things. All right, so let's see. How far am I along here? I'm doing the trees. I'm about, let's see, where am I on this picture? I started this picture May 22nd, you guys. At 6:58 a.m. I put the time there. I got my first YouTube payment on that day. Oh my God, that's funny. All right. I didn't even know that was there, but that's because the channel is monetized now. I get a little, trust me guys, I don't get a ton of money. I get a little bit of money for doing this, and every dime I get pretty much goes back into buying new diamond paintings to show you guys. But anyway, let's see, where am I at? I'm right about, let's see, right about in this general area here. Yeah, because this is the church over, you can't see it, but the church is over here. And oh yeah, so I'm literally halfway. I'm at the halfway point, I think, of this painting. Right in this, I think I'm right in this general area. Right about here. Yeah, right about here. Or right about there, something like that. In this general area. So it's going to be a while. Am I going to finish this before I start something new? Probably not. I just got a new painting. You're going to see that video tomorrow because I'm going to upload this today. It's called Golden Castle by Shauna something from Dreamer Designs. And oh my God, I love that painting. I may kit that one up. Not 100% sure. Or I may do a Robert finale because I have now a few of his paintings, but I haven't done one yet. I mean, I'm realizing that diamond painting and collecting diamond paintings are two separate things, you know? I mean, I do work on them. As you can see, I actually do work on them. But these things take time. It's not like you can do one in a day, you know? Especially one this long. This one is, how long is this thing? This is 180 centimeters by 60 centimeters or 70.9 inches by 23.6 inches. Okay, so this thing is taller than me. It's like 6 feet tall, right around there. Yeah, because I'm 65 inches. Let's see, I'm 5'2"-ish. Is that 65 inches? I don't even know. I'm so bad with math, and today I'm really bad with math. I'm really bad with math. I can't freaking think straight today. You know, and that's because I only had, you know, the 3 hours worth of sleep, plus I had to clean up and, you know, all that stuff. All right, what other color do I need here? I got to decide which one I want to do. Usually what I do, this is how I do it. It makes sense in my head. I'll start on the corner and I'll pick a color on the corner, whatever it is, and I just fill it in as the corners go. I mean, this is filling it this way, but then when I get to here, it's like, that's just how my brain works. Like, if I started here and it just wouldn't flow right for me. So that's what I do. So I'm going to do this color here because it's only a couple. And of course I have to look at my handy dandy sheet because everything is rolled up so I can't see it. Let's see. B, 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 B. Where the hell? The problem is it's like, there's so, oh, here it is. 84. Alrighty, and of course I have it in my tower, so I just grab it. It's there, see? Magic. Magic. I love my tower. I'm just afraid one of these days I'm gonna, knock it down, God forbid, and make a mess. I mean, yesterday, or was it this morning? I think it was this morning, because, no, it wasn't this morning, because this morning I didn't do squat. I got up and had to start cleaning. I hit something and they went everywhere. I'm like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. I had to pick every single one out. I'm like, oh, God. The world's trying to kill me. Was that it? Oh, my God. Yeah, I think that was it, actually. Oh, there's actually a whole bunch of them here. Hold on. You know what? Even though I picked it there is a whole bunch here. I am going to lay them down over here as well. I know everybody does things differently, but that's just how my brain works. I don't know what it is. Methodical? Could it be methodical? I don't know. So, I think I have most of my shopping done, except for those, like my grandson. I don't think my husband and I are going to even do gifts this year. I don't want to stress him out. He's been working so many hours. This new job that he has, which we're very grateful for. Don't get me wrong, but he works on a printing press, and when he got hired, like a few months before, that particular company, the press that they had there caught fire. They had another press, but they have the press that caught fire. And so they got a new press in. It is a German press. I forget what they're called now. KBE? Something like that. I don't know. It's a particular brand. And it's a German printing press. These things are huge. These are not like copiers. These things you can walk in them. They're that big. Because he's making like cereal boxes, that kind of thing. It's that kind of paper, not the heavy. It's not paper. It's like cereal boxes, toy boxes, that kind of, it's not corrugated, that kind of thing. Anyway, they had the printing press catch fire. They got a new printing press in. So they've been training on this press. But he already knew this press because his other company had the same basic press. So he has a very good idea how to run the press. And, but they've been training and stuff. So now they started them on working these shifts, and these shifts are 12-hour shifts for 4 days a week, which winds up being 48 hours. Okay, not a huge deal, but he's going to work at 6 and he's coming home. He works 7 to 7, so he gets home close to 8 because it's about half hour to 45 minutes ride, because depending on traffic and stuff, he takes back roads and all that. Because it's just easier, and plus where we're at's really the best way to get there, and he prefers the back roads anyway. So he's been working these crazy hours, and last week they made them work on Friday too, another 6 hours. That's 54 hours. That's a lot of time. And considering, he's 58 years old, he's not 25. Now, my husband has always loved working overtime. He is the kind of person, he literally will work 12 hours, come home, and still go downstairs and do something. He's always been like a little hyperactive. Like, I'm hyperactive too, but I don't have that kind of energy, and I do things like, I do hobbies and stuff. His hobby is like fixing things. Like, he loves to fix things. He's like a handyman and stuff. Loves to fix things. That would be his dream job. If he could find a job doing handyman work, like at an actual place where they had insurance and all that, he would be in his glory. I honestly wish that kind of job would pop up for him. Because he's sick of the printing thing. He did it for 40 years. But unfortunately, he did it for 40 years, and that's what he's qualified for, although he's an excellent handyman. So many people ask him, hey, can you help me with this? Even my neighbor. His sister was just here. She needs help with something. And honestly, my husband is not a book reader. He's not a book smart person per se. Like, I listen to a lot of books. I read a lot of books. So I am a book smart, if you want to call it that. He is brilliant. He is a genius when it comes to fixing things. Has the mind of an engineer naturally. He just I'll give him a problem. I'm like, Hal, hey, blah, 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 whatever. Can you fix this? And he'll sit there, think about it, and come up with this like ingenious idea. And I'm like, oh my God, he is brilliant. When it comes to that, he is an absolute genius, an absolute genius. And I'll literally will say, if Hal can't fix it, no one can. And he will do research if he has to like actually look something up. I mean, YouTube has been an immense help for that, for him with that, for certain things. But, I mean, he's just brilliant, He's just, and if Al puts it together, it ain't coming apart. Another thing is he's also an extreme perfectionist. Like, he's building something downstairs, and it's, number one, well, he hurt his back. So that's number one. He hurt his back. But he also takes 2 or 3 times as long to do anything because he's so meticulous and he's always overthinking things. Like, for me, something would be fine. He'll tell me he's changing something. I'm like, why? And he'll explain to me why. And I'm like, but why do you need to do that? I'm like, I don't care. It wouldn't matter to me. I wouldn't even notice. But in his head, it's not perfect until it's done the way he wants it to be done. So it takes him a while to get things done. But when he's done, it's beautiful. We redid our kitchen. We redid when we bought this house, we had a room in the back. It was kind of like a seasonal room porch type thing. Originally, I think it had been a deck, and then they closed it up. And it was really a room. It was already a room with windows and door. The only thing it didn't have was a door to outside, but we wound up putting a deck. That we hired somebody for that. He couldn't do that kind of work. It's just you need extra people. You're putting up beams, that kind of thing. But anyway, he redid that entire room. And then he redid the entire kitchen. We actually used IKEA. I know some people think those are low quality, but I'm going to tell you right now, IKEA is brilliant with the way that they have their system. They have these bars. I forget what they're called. Like, you hang the cabinets on these bars. So everything is super level. And you can move them up. People literally move them, change them. I guess in Europe, wherever they have IKEA. Is it Sweden or Switzerland? I don't know. One of those. They move their cabinets with them sometimes, because you can literally just take them off the wall. I mean, you're supposed to screw them in, and he did. I mean, we could hang off our cabinets. They're that sturdy. And if you ever want to change them up, you just change the doors, because they use the same hardware. And the hardware is fantastic. The hardware is excellent. And you just change the doors, and you can go from like the cheapy stuff to actually very expensive doors. Doors we have, the facings we have are actually pretty expensive. But not as expensive as, say, going to a cabinet store. We went to cabinet stores. Some of them were giving us a quotes of like over $30,000. I'm like, $30,000? No, we don't have that kind of money. We had about $10,000 to spend at the time. And with that, I have an amazingly beautiful kitchen, and part of it is because he did 99% of the work himself, except the backsplash tile. He's got a friend who's a contractor that he hired to do that because it was glass tile. He didn't want to sit there trying to cut glass tile, and I'm glad he didn't, because God forbid an accident happened. I don't do well with blood, so he does an amazing job. He's very, very good. And it makes me sad, like when he's hurt and he can't move, and he gets very, I don't want to say he gets moody, because he's not a moody guy, but he does get a teeny bit snippy. And I'm like, listen, I'm on your side, okay? And I know you're frustrated, but I'm trying to help. But I get it, because whenever I've been laid up or sick or whatever, and I can't do what I want to do, I get really frustrated too. And he's that kind of guy. He needs to be doing something constantly. And this is why I say he could never like 100% retire. Like, he could retire from work, but he needs to always be doing something. It makes him happy. He loves to do stuff. Like he was just outside getting wood from, I don't think I mentioned it earlier. I don't know if I did. Now I can't remember. We have wood out in the back, way down, you know, on the property. And he moved it closer to the house because he's been, we have a wood stove downstairs, and he's been warming it up down there because our heat, for some weird reason, doesn't get downstairs very well. So it's nice that we have the wood stove, and he gets the wood downstairs nice and warm, which we don't really use downstairs all that much. It's mainly his office, but if he wants to go out, he wants to go in there and pay a bill or whatever, it's freezing, you know. So he was moving the wood down there to from one spot to another to make sure that he has it, because they were saying something about us getting snow. Oh, excuse me. Over this coming weekend, and I'm like, okay. We'll see. I also heard maybe snow, like a blizzard for Christmas. I'm like, no, I would love to get a blizzard for Christmas. The only thing that would suck is I wouldn't be able to go to my mother's house because that's like a half an hour away. In a blizzard, I'm not going anywhere. If there's a blizzard, I'm staying. My butt's staying home. All right, I'm just trying to make sure this is the right, because this is sideways, so I have to actually do it like this to actually make sure it's the right configuration, because some of these symbols, they have the same symbol. Like, I'll show you. Where are they? See that one there? They have that one. And then they have the same symbol. Where is it? But facing the other way. Where is it? Right here. See how it's facing down, and this one's facing, like, this one's facing northeast in my thing, and this one's facing south, no, northwest. That one's facing northwest, sorry. This one's facing southeast. And they're actually similar colors. This one's brighter, and this one's kind of like a purple, like fuchsia color, but this one's like more of a red, I think. So I do have to pay attention to make sure there's not similar symbols, because there's 92 colors in this one, you know. And because I do this sideways, because I have it rolled up, because other than that, I don't know how anybody could manage. I have to make sure I'm doing it correctly. Okay, so that's number 40. All right. Yeah, so after this, I'm doing this for a little while because it's really not late. It feels like it's 8 o'clock, but it's really only 5:30. You know, I'm like, oh my God. Like when he told me he was going to go down and do whatever he was doing on the ceiling, I'm like, right now? And then I look at my watch and it's like 4:30. I'm like, oh my God, it feels like it's 8 o'clock. That's one thing with, you know, at this time of year when the, is it the winter solstice is coming up? Yeah, the winter solstice. It's crazy because it's like, it gets dark so early. I wish they would stop with this whole time change thing. I freaking hate the time change. Pick one. Stick with that one. I don't care which side you pick. Just pick one. I don't care if you pick this one. I don't care if you pick the other one. Pick one. Alright, I only need one for that? Well, that's weird. Okay, I guess. It wasn't even worth my time looking for it, to be honest. Alright, let's see. Do I have any more C's? Yeah, there's a few. What number is that? 20. So yeah, it's interesting sometimes, you know. And with my husband working all these crazy hours, it's like, I mean, I got plenty of time to myself, but he never bothers me. I mean, I have plenty of time to myself anyway. But I know what I was saying with that. It's like, see, I go on a tangent, guys. I am sorry, because I know sometimes I'll listen to my videos back and I start saying something and then it just disappears what I'm thinking. But that's how my brain works. Okay. What I was saying is we're not, I don't think we're doing presents for each other this year. Number one, we don't really need anything other than good health. That would be great, you know. Because he's been working so many hours, and honestly, I don't want to stress him out with thinking he has to go shopping for me or anything else, because he's got so much on his plate with that, you know, with working all those hours. I just want to spend some time with him. I just want us to take a nice weekend and just, you know, after the holidays, after everything is said and done, because Christmas is here in, oh my God, like a week and a half. I can't believe it. Wow, I'm looking at the moon. It's huge. Wow, okay. Are we supposed to have a full moon? Oh my god, I get so confused sometimes. And um yeah, Christmas is here in a week and a half, and I think after the holidays I want to take just a weekend with him. Like, we can even stay home. I don't really care. Where we kind of just spend some time, connecting, and maybe go out to dinner, go to a couple of shops, just walk around. We like to walk around places, just look around and stuff. He likes to go places, certain stores. Like, he loves Home Depot. I don't want to go to Home Depot, but he likes Home Depot. But he'll also go to, like Big Lots, those kinds of stores. He likes those kinds of stores. And I don't mind those. Those are fun, We'll probably do something like that just to hang out, you know. So speaking of the moon, we'll change subject real quick because I'm only going to try to keep this maybe an hour at the most. Has anybody seen any drones? All those drones out there. Some people were saying here in my town that they've seen any. I'm like, I don't see squat. I mean, I get up in the middle of the night, pitch black in my yard, and I look up at the sky. I'm like, I don't see anything. I don't know what you people are seeing now. I'm not saying people aren't seeing things. Of course they are. I've seen pictures. I find it very strange that, our government is saying, oh, nothing to worry about, but they don't know what they are. That makes no sense to me. Clearly, it's something having to do with a government as far as I'm concerned. Because I think if there was any kind of threat, they would have already shot him down. Why wouldn't they? I mean, I hope they would. I certainly hope they would. If there's any kind of threat, you don't want anything to, cause trouble to the citizenry. At least I'm hoping, I don't know. So I just want to know if anybody's seen anything. UFOs. I'm totally into UFOs. I love that stuff. I love that kind of stuff. Conspiracy theories, that kind of stuff. Oh, I love it. Do I believe all of it? No, but they're just fun. I love that kind of thing. I also love fairies and unicorns and, tarot cards and oracle cards and all that stuff. Ancient Egypt. I love historical stuff. I love religions. I love looking at documentaries where they talk about religions and stuff. There's one I just saw that's really interesting. It's called Ancient Apocalypse. Now, I saw the first season. He just came out with the second season. Graham Hancock. I know if you get into it, there is controversy around him. I don't care. The guy is a reporter that's very much into archaeology. Some of his stuff does make sense. I mean, is it true? I don't know. It's fun. It's fun to listen to. I don't know. A lot of these people don't know either. They're the ones that are saying, oh, so and so is wrong. How the hell do they know they're wrong? Everything they are doing is on theory too, most of the time. So how the heck do they know, I just watch and I get entertained by it, and I love to learn new things. And honestly, if you never explored different theories or different thoughts or different things, how are you going to learn anything? Nothing wrong with looking at it. A lot of times, anything in science, science is trial and error. It really is. Nothing is ever set in stone because things change. What was it recently? Something that changed. Oh my God, I can't remember now. It was set in stone supposedly, and all of a sudden, no, it's not set in stone anymore. I can't remember what it was. Because that's how it is, stuff my mom used to accept as the gospel truth. If has since been debunked or whatever, by further study or research or just experience, So I love that kind of stuff. They also have the John Bonet one, Who Murdered John Bonet, because that one is very interesting. I have not seen it. I've only seen the preview, and that's a crazy story. But I really think that we weren't told the full truth at all about that. Same thing with the Scott Peterson case. I actually saw a documentary on that a few years ago. I think it was was it A&E? I don't know. It was on regular cable, but they have a new one on on Netflix. Now, I haven't watched either one of those. Honestly, at Christmas time, I do not want to watch anything has to do with the death of a child and the death of a woman who was carrying her child. You know, I just don't, I don't have it in me. I don't have the heart for that. But they are interesting cases. And also, there's a lot of, I know with the Scott Peterson case, a lot of stuff was dropped. Like a lot of the, from the documentary that I saw, you know, a lot of the stuff wasn't exactly as it was portrayed, which is usually the case. Isn't that usually the case, though? A lot of times we're fed something and then we go back and it's like, that's not what really happened, you know? I mean, I've never been on a jury. To tell you the truth, I never want to be on a jury because, you know, when you have to actually decide someone's fate, and then if you find out later that you were actually lied to by the prosecution or the defense, but I mean, the defense, it's kind of the defense's job, honestly, to kind of like, you know, make sure you don't believe the prosecution's case. But if you're not told 100% the truth, then why would you, like, to me, to have to decide someone's fate, unless it was clear cut, like, you know, 100% clear cut, I would have a very hard time with that, you know, because you're never 100% sure that they're telling you the truth. At least I'm, you know, because over the years, there's been cases that you find out later that, you know, they were lying. They were, whether it was the prosecution that was lying, the witnesses that were lying, and you're like, oh my God, these people have spent time in jail. I mean, how many people have been exonerated and, you know, or they're able to get out of jail because of either DNA evidence or because a witness has come forth and said that never happened, or they said they lied, whatever. I mean, it's crazy. I hope I never get on a jury. I never want to get on a jury. You know, I really don't, because I don't want to have to make a decision on someone's life. I don't know if you guys, if any of you, now this is an old movie, so remember, I'm 56 years old and I grew up watching old movies because we didn't have cable until later on. I mean, even when my friends had cable, we didn't get cable till like 10 years later. But there's this movie, I think it's called 10 Angry Men, or is it 12 Angry Men? Something Angry Men. It's 10 or 12. And it's a case of a kid that was arrested for murder. He's a young man, like in his 20s. And they listen to the case. And it's all, this is literally, this whole movie is done in the jury room. Okay, you think, oh, it's boring. As a kid, I watched this. I was probably, 14-ish, probably even younger. And I still remember it. And there was one person that was holding out saying, no, I don't believe that this person is guilty. And he kept putting his theory forward, and they did reenactments of how the murder could have happened, or, you know, and all this stuff. And I don't know if this guy was like a cop or something, and he was saying, I don't remember, because this was so many years ago. And I don't know if I don't want to give it away, but just, if you watch the movie, you'll see how, like, what you're told isn't necessarily exactly how things actually happen, and how one person can actually make a real huge difference in a person's life when it comes to making that kind of decision. Because I think in this case it would have been a death penalty if he was found guilty, you know. Excellent movie, you know. And people were mad because they wanted to go home, you know. They just wanted to go home. They were convinced, you know, of whatever, you know. And it's just a really good movie. It's just, you know, I want to find it again. I wanted to show it to my husband because I mentioned to him, and for some reason I couldn't find it. You know what? Maybe I actually have to buy the movie, because I think I was just looking like on like Netflix or whatever. And I think I really, if I could buy the movie, it would be great, because I think he would actually enjoy it, because he likes that kind of stuff, you know. And it's all dialogue, and there's really no action. It's all mental. you know, and I like that stuff. I like dialogue. It's why I kind of like Star Trek. My husband, like, I love Stargate, and I love sci-fi stuff, but he really loves, and I do too. I like Stargate, but Stargate's a lot of action and stuff. I really like Star Trek because Star Trek, there's a lot of dialogue, you know, it's just people talking, and I mean, there's action as well, but there's a lot of dialogue, and you get like deeper into the story other than just people, you know, uh, shooting things, you know, doing that kind of thing, because that's what Stargate is a lot of, you know, things blowing up and stuff like that. It's a great show though. It's a lot of comedy. It's funny. Whereas Star Trek, it's not really comedic. Where Stargate kind of is. There's a lot of comedic relief in it, you know. So it's just, yeah, those are the things that interest me. I know I start here, guys, and I go here, and then I wind up here, and then I go here. It goes everywhere. Okay, there's no rhyme or reasons to my stories. They kind of just go everywhere because something triggers something, and then it triggers something else, and then it triggers something else. And that's how conversations are, though, isn't it? Like when you're talking to somebody, you don't just talk about the same thing unless you're gossiping about one particular person, I guess. I try not to gossip. I'm not a huge fan of gossip. Although some gossip's kind of fun, but most of the time, no. I think malicious gossip is horrible, and I hate malicious gossip. But, you know, just some stuff, it's kind of fun. But when you're talking to someone, you kind of talk about a bunch of different things, you know? A little bit of this and a little bit of that. And because I'm talking on the video and I'm talking to you guys, I'm also talking to myself because there's really no one here. But the weird thing is when I'm talking on these videos, I literally feel like I'm talking to someone because I do feel that I am talking to a person. I'm talking to you. And you guys are just so sweet and nice. And, you know, the ones that do watch these things, I really appreciate it because it's just very kind of you to do that, you know, that you listen to my words and what I have to say. I really do appreciate it because I do this for fun. I do this for stress relief. I do this for my own mental health in a lot of ways. And it's very much appreciated when I get feedback, you know, and it's not for everybody, you know, and that's okay. I mean, I will listen sometimes to Whip and Chats. A lot of times I actually don't because I don't have the time. Most of the time I have a bunch of other stuff going on, or I'm trying to catch up on other videos, trying to catch up on books. I have audiobooks that I listen to. So I do not have a ton of time to listen to them. I need like 15 of me and then I would be good, you know, and then I would be good. Wow. The moon is huge. Wow. I should take a picture because it almost looks foggy out there. And I don't think I would be able to take a picture though, but maybe I will. Maybe that'll be my thumbnail. My moon whipping chat, you know? I don't think I'll be able to, but I'll try it. I'll go outside and I'll try. It's freezing out there, guys. It was like 14 degrees when I woke up this morning, or 12 or something like that. And it's probably just as cold now. All right, let's see where I'm at. Oh, I'm very close to an hour and 58 minutes here. So I will say goodbye. Thank you so much for listening. I truly appreciate it. I hope you all have a great day wherever you are. And if you can, say a prayer for my nephew, Patrick, that he'll be okay. That he'll recover from his surgery. I think he's going to be fine. It's just, you know, he's a little bit more complicated. And because of that, I do worry about him, you know. All right, you guys, have a great day wherever you are. Take good care of yourselves. Blessings and thank you.